What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing this evening? As you can see, we're in the collection room. It's still an utter mess in here, but working on it. I see we got Square One, Fragged, and Sweet Tooth, and Quinn. How are you guys doing this evening? All right, we're gonna give it a few more minutes up until the 7 o'clock hour here. Let some people have a chance to get on here. If you guys can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up or whatever like that in the comments. I'd appreciate it. Little sound check here. All right. Curtis, how are you doing? How you doing? Jerry, how are you, sir? All righty. We got 9 people on here. So we got a couple more minutes left. Yeah, we got a couple more minutes. Joe, how are you, sir? All righty. Steven, how you doing, sir? Thank you. All right. So yeah, I think we kind of got the audio issues and all that stuff kind of fixed here. Dre, standing while watching you, sir. That's the way to do it, man. Quinn, I'm actually early for a change. Yes, sir, you are. You guys got on here before I did. Awesome. So we got a few people on here, still waiting for some more people to gather on. All right. So let me hear what you guys are working on so far while we got a couple of minutes. What's everybody working on? What's your project that you got going on right now? You guys just seen the recent video of I'm sitting there looking at him right now of Galactus here. Curtis, you need to downgrade your workspace due to the size of your models. I hope that's not just my fault, man. Yeah, I've got several sitting here before me that I still got to work on and everything. My problem is I got to, it's not the workspace. It's just right now everything is pretty cluttered from just this room, being a catch-all for years and still working on stuff to try and get all the stuff moved out of here. Moving paint booth to garage to make room for more lasers. Awesome, Jerry. You're going to make videos of that, I'm sure, right? Let's see here. All right, we're at the 7 o'clock hour. Got a few people on here. Thank you guys for spending your evening with me for another live stream. So I have Frag is working on Predator, Magneto, and Dosis Venom. You sound like me, man. I got so much stuff going on right now. It's not even funny. Working on Terra from Clay Demon Miniatures. Awesome. I might have to look that one up and see what that looks like. So I have over here completed. I have all of my, I'll say this, I have all of my models that I'm going to be using for my next video, which is, I don't know if it's going to be my direct next video or whatever, for my cell shading video. How do you like that, Frag? All right. Punisher and Wolverine, yeah. So I'm itching to give you guys a tour of everything once I get all this stuff set up, but I've still got some work to do. Probably going to be a couple of months before we make that happen. But Art Cotto, hello, how you doing, sir? From Orlando, Florida. Alito Battle Angel, awesome. Tension on hold and printing the Kesha, whatever. Looks like you said printing the Kardashians. Oh, that's a scary. That would be a scary model, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So, do I work in a creative job out? Do I work in a creative job out of YouTube? No, sir. I work at just a basic. I work in retail management. Been in it, doing it for almost 35 years. So that's my main job. That's what pays the bills. It is more than a full-time job. And then I do this here. This is pretty much my second full-time job because this takes a lot of time. So Bamboo Taco, hello, sir, or madam, whoever. I don't know if that's a sir, ma'am, but welcome. Appreciate it. All right, so tonight's topic is basically I've had a lot of people ask about how I would set up a small workspace, and I'll give you some pointers. We'll talk a little bit about that. Talk with some people in the comment section and everything, and tell me what your thoughts are, how your setup is, and everything. And I'll give you some ideas because, of course, I didn't always have this much room at one point or another. I think we all kind of like get cramped or whatever, and so we have to kind of make do with what we have. So, kind of go over some of that a little bit, maybe answer some of the questions that you might have, and take it from there, guys. This will be kind of an open discussion. So, of course, we open discuss pretty much everything here on the live stream. So anything that you guys want to talk about, we can also talk about that too, because I don't think that this subject's really going to take up an hour, hour and a half, usually how much time we spend on here. So by all means, if you have any questions or anything like that, put them in the comments and we'll hit them as we go. So I can tell you one of the first things that I did, of course, when I was younger, much younger, and I was painting miniatures and I was painting like different models. I was doing model cars for a little while. I got tired of that, I moved into like the vinyl models from Horizon. Who remembers those? You know, we had the Punisher and Venom and Thor and all those guys. They were vinyl models. Well, back in those days, they were really cool. You know, I mean, of course, I think I still like them. I still got a few of them myself, but I had like a little small apartment at the time, and so I didn't have much space. Matter of fact, my furniture consisted of 2 lawn chairs and a milk crate. I mean, what I did was, first things first, I started to go out and buy paints. Of course, back then we didn't have stuff like Vallejo or anything like that, so I had to buy testers, model paints, and everything. So one thing that I learned really quickly was you're going to run out of space quick if you buy a bunch of paints that you're probably not going to need. So that's one of the first things I say. Like if you have a small workspace, learn how to mix colors. Get you a color wheel. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being serious. Get you a color wheel and study it. I mean, that is one of the things they taught us in art school, just to learn how to mix colors and everything. That's going to save you a ton of room instead of having all of these models here or all these paints here that you're probably never going to use. So that was the first thing that I learned how to do. The second thing is I had to find somewhere to store all this stuff, because I'm assuming that some people live in a small house, or you're married, you got kids, and you don't have a lot of room. So the one thing that I did was I went out and got a tackle box, a fishing tackle box. That way it has like the drawers when you pop it up and stuff. I could put my paint brushes in it. I could set my few jars of paint in the bottom and everything. It was very, very small. It was easy to keep up with. So that's another thing that you can do. So, of course, we're in the future now, I mean, compared to back then. So that's what I would do. I would definitely get you some, whether it's a tackle box, whether it's something like one of these craft art boxes from Michael's or something like that. Get you something that you can keep everything together in. That way, it's all centralized. That way, you can pop it up and right there and work. So that's another thing that you can do. The other thing that I did, which I think a lot of people really don't realize, back then, you know, you didn't have dry palettes, you didn't have wet palettes or anything. And if you did, if you're like me, you didn't have a lot of money to go spend on. So what I did was I took bottle caps, like from 2-liter Coke bottles, just the regular bottle caps, and that's what I used to mix my paints in. So, and that keeps, I mean, you could throw them away, you can rinse them out, you can do whatever. I mean, you're always needing those to save them. So that is one thing that doesn't take up a lot of space, and is useful, that you can use those. I mean, like mixing paints, like if you have to put paint, you know, just generally in somewhere you don't have space to put it, you don't have a dry palette, wet palette, or whatever. That is a great idea that you could do to mix your paints in. So look into that. I mean, if you haven't thought of that idea and you're cramped on space, again, you're talking a bottle cap rather than a wet palette or a dry palette in order to keep up with it. When you get done mixing your paints and you're done painting, you can toss it in the trash. You can keep up with them. You can always get more. So there's tons of uses for that. So that is, I learned that, just by just accident. I just, was sitting there one day and I was just like, yeah, I need something to mix paints up. And I was using paper plates, but paper plates, the paint kind of bleeds through sometimes and it'll stain whatever you have it on. I was getting it all over my table and everything else, and it was just a mess. Plus, it's a paper plate. It takes up a lot of space. So I started mixing paints up in bottle caps. So if anybody else has tried that, let me know in the comments. That's pretty cool. Dre, so that's another thing I was getting ready to acrylic organizers at Amazon. That's actually what I have on my paint on my table right now, and that's what I organize my paints in. The only problem is those things can take up a lot of space. They're good if you just happen to have that many paints. It's small, it's stackable or whatever like that. Those are great in that sense. But if you are very limited on space, if you're very limited on space, then that's probably an idea that you could do. The other thing is, when you're keeping brushes and everything like that, especially if you spend a little money on brushes, I don't. I mean, because I'm pretty rough on my brushes. Let's put it this way: I have to replace every single one that I've got when I worked on Galactus. They're trash now. But so I don't usually spend a lot of money on paints. But if you got some good brushes or whatever like that, then get you like a cylinder tube in order to keep them in, like a little small pencil pouch or something like that. Not one of those flexible, but a round, hard, pencil pouch or a flexi tube. I used a piece of PVC pipe for the longest time, and I also used a Pringles can. So for the longest time, I used a Pringles can, and it kept all my paintbrushes in it, and it saved a lot of space. These are like probably uncivilized methods or something like that, but they work. Trust me. Um, I brush my hair and paint with the same brush. They're, I don't know about you, Curtis. So yeah. Anyway, so that when you are in those tight spaces and everything like that, you got to think about a little bit of everything. Now let's move on. Like if you have children, if you have kids, of course you can't have something like, a bunch of toxic stuff or whatever, like thinners and everything like that, laying around or whatever. So again, that's what I'm talking about. Go back to the case and the tackle box or whatever like that. So, Dre, hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. So yeah, Dre says, I live in a small apartment. Your tip and product in Amazon really helped me. Oh, also using the pastel for shading. So yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to get to next. And thank you for the super thanks there. If you do not have an airbrush, so here's a couple of things. I know a lot of people that don't have airbrushes for the simple fact of they take up a lot of space, them and a compressor. So you have a couple of options. And one was what Dre was kind of alluding to, was pastels. So pan pastels are stackable. They're easy to store. You can keep those in that tackle box, or you can keep them in some type of organization box or whatever like that. And you can use those to shade. Now, if you really want to get into airbrushing, consider the portable ones. They don't take up a lot of space at all. They're rechargeable and they work. I've done a couple of videos on them. But it's just a matter of they're cheap, they're inexpensive. I think you can get one of those for like $35-$45 on average. The only thing that you might want to look at is to make sure it has anywhere between 25 and 35 psi. That allows for your paint won't get stuck in it generally if you mix it right, of course. and it'll allow you to get good detailing and coverage and stuff like that. So check those out if you are wanting to get into airbrushing, don't have a lot of space, don't have a lot of money, because by the time you go ahead and you buy a compressor and an airbrush, you're talking a couple of $100, probably at the least. But the portable airbrushes, if you find a good brand, they work, but they're not expensive at all. And like I said, they're rechargeable. They don't take up a lot of space at all. And that's something else you can kind of keep in your tackle box, or you can keep in your organization box or whatever. So something else to think about. If you're not into airbrushing, then by all means, you just want to keep all your stuff together, keep it out of harm's way of your children or whatever. Now, when it comes to printing, the printing side of it, that's going to be your biggest space hog right there is going to be your printer. Um, so what my suggestion is if you don't have a lot of space I'm assuming that you're not going to print big models. You're probably either going to print something like miniatures, 1/10, 1/6 scale sort of things. Um, just get you like a Mars Pro or something like that. They don't take up that much space. But if you insist on getting a bigger printer, then that's entirely up to you. You just got to find the space for it, of course. Joe, yes. So they have master airbrushes on Amazon for $39. Because I own two of them, and that's what I use pretty much on all of my models. Pretty much everything you see behind me was either done with a master airbrush or an Iwata Neo, I think is what I use. And I haven't been using that very long because I had to replace the needle and the tip on it. So yeah, that's one good thing right there that you could use. Um, I've done a lot of models with the portable airbrushes and stuff. They're not too bad. You don't get a lot of overspray with them. You just have to just make sure that you're good with cleaning it. Make sure that your paints are thin enough and everything, especially if you're just running lower psi and everything. So by all means, do those sort of things. Hello, Max G. Welcome, and hello, Darren. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. So when you're setting up, also setting up a small space, the biggest thing, and I think it's probably one of the biggest things that people don't think about, and that's lighting. So I've actually seen some really good spaces, some really nice spaces with some really good lighting. If you get like, what are those? I can't remember the name of those lights that you get like at Michael's or whatever. They're fairly small, but you can actually get like a clip-on light. The LEDs and stuff, show really good, and they're very cheap. And again, they're easily to take off and everything, and store away or something like that. But lighting is important because you want to make sure that you're able to see what you're doing, especially if you're doing highly detailed stuff. Harbor Freight has an Avante brand airbrush for $25. I'm not sure how good those are, but I mean, hey, anything's workable as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if you can work with it, then great. I tell you right now, if I had to do Galactus all over again, I would definitely use a pistol grip. So my fingers are actually still numb, calloused, and sore from holding that trigger down for hours. So, I was painting for hours a day. I'm not talking like 1 or 2 hours. We're talking several. So yeah, again, comfort is something that you're going to look into, especially whenever you're doing any type of printing and painting. So that brings me to supplies as far as your printing. Um, One thing that I would use, and I do use them right now, if you're in a tight spot, especially, is look into cafeteria trays. They're very small. You can get like a pack of like 4 or 5 or 6 or something like that for like $15. Those do really good whenever you have to take a model off the build plate, take it off the build plate, and clean it. You're going to need somewhere for like your alcohol. You're going to need somewhere for just to work in the general area and stuff like that. And these will allow you to do that. Mr. Bamboo Taco, thank you, sir, with the $5. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. What's my opinion on indoor paint booths that vent into a filtered container? It's funny that you mentioned that because I'm actually putting together one right now. And I'll tell you a little bit about it here in just a minute. So basically, um, we'll go over that here in just a minute because I want to kind of get into that a little bit better. And that kind of will tie into what I'm kind of going with next. So, but I do appreciate the 5. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir. But so what was I getting at? So let's go back to when you're God, I lost my train of thought here. Help me, what was I thinking about? You got me stumped there, man. But anyway, I think I was talking about maybe airbrushes or something like that. But let's go into all right, let's just go into what Bamboo was talking about. So indoor paint booths. There are a lot of them that you can buy off of Amazon or something like that for 120, 130, however big you want to go with them. Those right there are really good for small spaces because they do have a filtration system. You can stick them next to a window vent. Um, and yeah, I mean, so that would help you, eliminate the fumes and everything like that. I'm not sure how they would work as far as like if you don't have like a window or something like that. If you're in a tight spot and you have nowhere to go, nowhere to filter that or whatever, that air will still comes back. Even though you're running a filter or whatever, you're still going to have those fumes come back into your area. So be careful about that. That's why you want to direct that out of harm's way, out into a window area or whatever like that. So that brings me up to what Bamboo was talking about. So there are filtration systems that you can get, and I have a link to one of them that I'm using in my description. It's actually an indoor plant and flower type of ventilation system. It actually has a really nice carbon filter, so eliminates all the fumes and all the whatever the viscosities or whatever like that and everything like that, or VOCs. Pronouncing it wrong. So that is what I'm using right now. I'm setting up a new paint booth here in my paint room. And I've already tried the system out. It works great. And you get no fumes coming out of there or whatever like that, just provided that you're spraying inside the booth, of course. What if you haven't got a paint booth but have avert everything else? Can you use a cardboard box? So yes. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I plan on making a video of this. So you guys can see this system. I got it for $100. So what this consists of, the fan. It consists of it's actually got an intake, the hose, and it's also got the carbon filter set up with it. It's big. I mean, the carbon filter is pretty good size. So that's the only drawback to it. But it's something that you can sit down on a desk, you can hang up from the ceiling or whatever like that. But it works. And the fan, it will suck in the all the paint and everything. It's going to work really great. And the box that I'm using is humongous. It's what my Sonic Mega 8K came in. So it's like a 3.5, 4 foot box. But that's what I'm going to use temporarily. I am going to build an arcade style paint booth out of wood. It's one that I've been wanting to build for years. But I'm going to have an even flow, what they call an even flow system. This is like an extraction fan that they use for like painting cars. And those, and plus I'm going to have this right here as well. But like if I'm having to spray primers or something like that, I typically go outside, just because I don't want, primers are really potent and they stink really, really bad, and metallics. So I typically go outside whenever I'm spraying primers. I don't spray metallics outside because they can actually get, they can dry actually before they hit the surface and they become gritty if you're not careful, if it's too humid or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this extraction system. That way it sucks up everything and I don't have to worry about overspray or anything like that. and I'm safe. So that's another thing I'm going to do. Um, a tote bucket with a bathroom fan vented to a window works great. Yeah, I've seen some really neat stuff. I've actually seen like a plastic tote. Somebody made one with just a regular fan stuck to it, and it works. The only big thing is if you're using something like that, then where are the fumes going? Unless you have a window of some sort for that stuff to be filtered out to or whatever, then you're just getting it all back in, and it can stink. It can get on your models or whatever like that. The overspray, everything. So that's something we're kind of talking about right now. Um, yeah. Yeah, so Smuggler's Room, I follow that guy, and he makes some really cool stuff. And his paint cabinet is something like what I want to do. I love the Star Wars theme, and I'm looking to do my own little theme, I guess you could say. So I'm going to put my spin on it, but I'm looking to make something like sort of like that. Yeah, a cooker hood. Uh, you could do those, I guess. I don't know too much about those. Um, Dre said, here's got a top tip for you guys, apparently. One big tip people can take for the hobby is making their own G tool, Mr. Polisher. I just made my G tool with a cheap electric toothbrush, some sandpaper, and a little scotch tape. So there's a little story behind the G tool. And my rep, I actually have a rep that I talk with from Mr. Hobby. They actually sold out because of my channel. So when I put it up, when I did the video on it, they got so many orders, they sold out at all their warehouses. I think they sold something like 13 or 1400 units, and they could not get any more produced. So they actually decided to discontinue it. However, I'm working with them, and this is kind of exclusive news. I'm working with them on a better polisher. So, yeah. Yeah, I use mine all the time. I love it. I don't know about how to put sandpaper and scotch tape to it, but I guess if it works, it works. But I use it all the time. I use it on Galactus, for the resin parts and everything. And like as far as tight areas, you can't ask for anything better. he, Dre says he couldn't buy one online, so he made one. What's up, Spicy? Spicy's in the house, y'all. How's everything going? Hey, and you're from Peru? Okay, good to see you, man. Um, Peru, I love to go there sometime. Dauntless, yeah, I got mine back then. So yeah, a lot of people bought them. I could tell you right now, I made a pretty good penny off of Amazon affiliate marketing and all those things. So thank you guys that purchased one. I'm hoping we can design one that's a little bit better, a little bit more intuitive and everything that people. And I told them to make plenty of them. So yeah. So this system that I'm using it's just great. It's going to work really, really good. The only thing that I'm hung up on is the carbon filter. Like I said, it's probably a good 12 to 14 inches tall, and it's pretty good size round. It looks almost like a muffler off of a car, if you will. But the system's going to work really, really good. So I'm excited about to get that made, and then eventually down the road, I'll make me a cabinet style paint booth because I make big prints, and so therefore, I've got to have somewhere to paint them whenever I'm spraying them or whatever like that. I don't want to get this stuff all over all over my models in the house. And I did that earlier when I was working working in this room, for the past few years, and I cleaned everything up, and I don't want that to happen again. Cooker hoods, okay, cooker hoods will work. That's cool. So I think I know what you're talking about. And what I've got, it's like an extraction hood, almost like a dust hood, like a dust cover thing that you put in something like for dust collector. And I got one of those, and that's what I'm using on here. So what I'm going to do is on the box that I'm using right now, I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put it on the back of the box. I've already got the filters and stuff in there. This fan will really, really suck the fumes. So that's going to take care of all that and everything. And the carbon filter will take care of all the fumes and everything like that, everything that goes in there. So also something else to consider whenever you're making up your small workspace, lighting. That's what I was talking about. I knew it would come to me. I swear, guys, I'm getting old. I'm like forgetting stuff sometimes, but lighting is important. The other thing that I would say is important is comfortability. So um, you're going to need somewhere to sit. Like I would recommend, and I'm a firm believer that you can't spend too much on a chair that's comfortable for you. If you're painting at your kitchen table, definitely get some sort of lower lumbar support for your chair if you're sitting at a dinner table chair or whatever. Yes, I said dinner table. That's how old I am. So that's something you want to do. You want to get comfortable and everything because a lot of times you're going to be hunched over. You're going to be painting and everything. So that's something to take into consideration, your posture. You definitely don't want to start having, neck pain, shoulder pain, and so on and so forth. But hey, I mean, that's something you need to look into. I mean, everybody's different. Carbon filters come with the cooker hoods. Yes, they do. Okay, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like a Vent-A-Hood, I think, is what you're referring to, right, Darren? All right. So I can go on about a bunch more on as far as comfort and lighting and everything. That's something you need to really look into, depending on your space. I mean, however big or how small your space is, but make sure it's pretty well lit. That way you can that way you can just do everything comfortably. Square One says I spent more on my desk chair than I have in my entire hobby setup. I believe it, man. Some of those chairs are ridiculously expensive. So let's talk about printing. So we've talked about the printer. That's going to be on you. Decided on what you want to print or whatever. But again, if you got kids or even pets or whatever like that, make sure that it's out of the way. So another thing that I would suggest too is if if you're using a smaller printer like a desktop printer and not something like a Mono X or a Mega 3 or whatever like that, or an M3 Max, I'm sorry, or a Jupiter. Um, Put some type of cover over it. And you can do that by getting just a box to put over it, or, you can get some sort of, they sell the oh God, the systems that you can, the covers and everything like that. Get into something like that. That way your pets and your children don't get into it. Now, what are you going to do with your other tools as far as like your scrapers, your resin, things like that? So my suggestion is if your space permits, what I would do is, and you can eliminate the tackle box if you do this, or you can eliminate whatever, fixture to house all your stuff. If you can get you a small size type of just toolbox, like you see some of them that are on wheels or whatever, they're not very expensive. You can get a tub and you can put some trays in it if you want. But I was suggesting getting a locking one, especially if you have children or pets around. That way nobody can get into it. Another thing too is keep an eye out like on Facebook Marketplace or whatever like that, or just locally. Look for mini fridges that maybe don't work. I'm being serious. Get you a mini fridge that doesn't work, put you a lock on it. And if you can have the space for it or whatever, use that. I mean, that would house all your resin, that would house all of your paints and stuff like that. So that's something to look into. So just pitching out ideas out there. Again, this is all relative to how much space that you have or you don't have. So that's kind of pretty much all up to you. You're going to need somewhere to cure your prints. If you have a balcony, if it's sunny outside, put your prints out there. They'll cure with by the sun. That's one solution. I still do that. Like my larger prints, I'll take them outside and cure them because I don't have a big enough curing station yet. That brings me to another thing. you guys better tune into this video coming soon, because I have the biggest curing station that's getting ready to hit the market right now. And it's sitting in front of me here, and I have to put it together. That's how big it is. You're talking 400 by 400 by 250 millimeters, I think is how big this thing is. So again, it's a space hog, but yeah, this one's gonna. I'm trying to look up the size here, and it doesn't tell me here. But anywho, yeah. So we'll have that video up here before too long. Yep. So here's RVer, I think. Use a truck toolbox to keep all my supplies in that I got off Facebook Marketplace. Bam, there you go. That's all you need. Get you something like that for a few bucks or whatever. Find some good deals on it. Keep your stuff in there. Keep everything organized. I'm not sure how everybody else is, but I like my stuff to be in front of me. I don't like looking for it here and there and everything. So when it comes to painting, printing, whatever, I just like to have everything in front of me. And these are ideas that I am pitching at you. Some suggestions that you can use. If you have any suggestions, by all means, put them in the comments for everybody to share here. I mean, that's I'm sure everybody can use that sort of. Everybody can use that that suggestions and stuff. So, let's see. All right. So, are you guys still hearing me okay and everything? My wife says I look a little fuzzy on the video here. I swear, when I think I got all this licked, it seems like there's something else going on. And I think Jerry said earlier that my audio was going in and out. So yeah, so I'm going to be investing in some microphones and stuff like that here before too long, guys. This is driving me nuts. All right. Taking me off my train of thought. Is it still fuzzy? The sound is phasing in and out. Yeah, so all right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to get another mic and everything here. I can't keep doing this. All right, so Daryl's got a suggestion here. I use the 3-drawer plastic storage containers for tools, sandpaper, and cleaning stuff. There you go. All right. Yeah. My wife says the audio does keep going in and out. I swear. All right. So this weekend, I make a commitment to you guys before the next live stream. I'm going to get a microphone that's going to work. Apparently this one here is just had it. I'm trying to work on a little budget here. So we'll make some upgrades and everything for before the next live stream. Anybody else got any suggestions? Tell me about like what you use for your workspace. If you have a small workspace, whether you have a large workspace, it doesn't matter. Any suggestion is great. So like with my workspace here, get myself a headset. That's probably what I'm going to do, Darren. Probably won't do that. I mean, I don't know. Well, I'll probably get both and just try both. But yeah, so a lot of my stuff is through IKEA. A lot of my cabinets, of course, the best is behind me and everything. And yeah, so I do look a little fuzzy. Okay. I'm probably just going to wind up having to get a camera too. I'm using this off my laptop, so Quinn says I built my paint area into a small closet. So I've seen some really cool things like that, and I would love to do that. Like if I had it in my house, I've seen some people do some really neat, innovative stuff with a closet. So yeah, that's a good idea. Anybody else? Any ideas on good ways to store paint for easy access? So yeah, that's what I was talking about, like a tackle box, because they have the trays. You can pull the tray up and you have your paint right there in front of you. You can just set it on the table. That way you can use it. Someone brought up the acrylic nail polish holders and stuff. And that's what I use over here on my table. I'm see if I can get a little, if you can see them over there. That's what I've been using. I've got some that hang up on the wall, but I also got some that are actually on my desk. But I've got several of those. I've been using those for quite some time, and they work perfect. So yeah, one side is for painting, the other side is for airbrushing. Yep. So I got my setup right here is I have my paint booth over this way, and where my airbrush is over on this way, and then on this other side of the desk I have for hand painting. I don't have much space for hand painting because I just don't need it, and I've got to clear some of this crap out of this room in order to make good on my airbrushing system and everything like that once it's set up. Um, so yeah, hopefully that's going to be soon, maybe. Who cares? Who knows? Um, but yeah, another couple of things. Of course, Ziploc bags are your best buddy. You can put all kinds of things in there that you might need, like for, I would say, like putty or like Bondo, not Bondo, but like geez, wood filler, putty. Those are good to have like in a Ziploc bag, unless you got somewhere to put them up, because who knows if they'll leak or anything like that. So that's another good thing that you can keep in your tackle box or whatever. Yeah. So Glass Joe says, I've got one of those three tier in rollers carts from Michaels. Roll over when I want to paint, roll it back to its hiding spot in the closet when I'm done. So yeah, actually, I've got two of those. I've got the one is not here right now. I think, yeah, they're both in my other room. But I got a roller caddy over here that has drawers in it. I've had this thing for years, probably 10 years. They're just plastic rolling drawers, and this thing is like a godsend. I have different things in there right now. I don't have any of my paint stuff. All my paint stuff is over here, but I'm going to keep that for like, like any type of documentation, manuals, or something like that I might need for any printers that I have or whatever. So I'll keep that. Vallejo racks are good. I mean, there's all kinds of paint racks. I was just sent a whole paint rack system today that I'm going to set up over here. It's an unbelievable system, and I'm going to be doing a review on it as well. I just got that in today. It's all wood. And it's such a big system. It's like a $289 system, but it organizes everything. I mean, you name it, like it'll organize it for you. Dre's got another did a melamine box. I put my 3D print inside next to the windows in a room, apart with a fan extractor, which send the odors and particles to the outside. Awesome. So yeah, that's one of those ideas I was talking about, that if you can do something like that, rig up something, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I can't tell you how many YouTube videos I've seen out there where people get people get like cardboard boxes and stuff, and they start using those for their paint booths, or tubs. They just cut a hole in, put a fan in it, and that does it for them. All right, hold on one second. So Spicy says, can I get a shout out to my girlfriend? She is the one who encourages me to continue 3D printing. I tell her I use your videos as guides for airbrushing. Her name is Gally. Hi, Gally. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good, and appreciate the support. And keep encouraging to do 3D printing. I can vouch for that because my wife is encouraging me to do everything that I do. So that's awesome. That's awesome. You got a girlfriend like that, Spicy. So yeah, shout out to Gally. Oh, Frag says there's a company that make paint racks with shells, and you can even customize it to have a spray booth. You do need to tell, sir, who is this? It may be something we might need to look into and post up on a future live stream or video. Quinn says Home Depot HDX tool bit boxes for each of his printers with their spare parts, small footprint, and stackable. There you go. That sounds great. Great ideas, guys. Keep them coming. Daryl says, I found a portable paint booth from Wagner. It has a place on the back for a box fan and straps for the filter. You guys are coming up with some awesome stuff. I'm getting a little jealous. I'm making my crap out of a box. I had actually thought about getting some sheet metal and bending it and welding it to make a tabletop spray booth. So I still may do that for a tabletop, but I'm going to definitely build me a wooden one for like an arcade type style. Hold on one second. Let me unravel this cord. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I have this cord all kinked up or whatever. But yeah, we're definitely going to do some upgrades this weekend, guys. All right, so let's see if that helps a little bit. But yeah, I'm definitely going to build a wooden one. It's going to be heavy as hell, but I'm going to do it. Any other suggestions, man? Keep them coming. They sound great, guys. Hopefully this is helping some of you guys out. Hopefully this is helping some of you guys out that might have some limited space or whatever like that when printing and painting. Quinn, can you post what he's talking about or picture? Sometimes the moderators don't let stuff go through, so yeah, I'm not sure if moderators will let it go through. If you're on the Discord, Quinn, go ahead and put it on the Discord and let me know that, and I'll just post a picture on there. Foam core is your best friend. When you say foam core, exactly what are you talking about? If it's what I'm thinking of, so that's another thing with small areas. So like styrofoam, like if you have like small blocks of styrofoam, those work great with like skewers, like shish kebab skewers or whatever, you to hold your prints or your models when you're painting them or something. Those work really good. Also, let's see here. Artie Station Opera. Okay. Let's see here. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, this looks really neat. This is something similar as to what I was just talking about. The one I've got is not as big and bulky, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's not $435 either. Oh my God, that's pricey. But yeah, okay. He posted it under the live stream chat. Bear with me for a second, guys. I'm gonna see if I could find this here. Live stream chat. It's not under there, dude. Let's see. Live stream talk. Anywho, we'll have. There we go. Okay, here it is. Oh yeah, that's nice. So I seen this earlier. So there is like a these guys reached out to me, but they actually wanted me to pay for the product, for me to do a review and for me to pay for it and then reimburse me after the video was made. I was like, yeah, no. It's a mix rack. Yeah. Modular paint system and hobby workstation by Grim Rabbit. So this is almost like a suitcase and these drawers come out and you can swing them or whatever, but they all kind of go into one central box. Those are pretty cool. My problem with those are when you put all that weight in like quarter box or whatever like that, those things, that little flimsy kind of balsa wood, those things will snap like a twig. So you kind of, that's why I like plastic totes better. Using those would definitely definitely be better. Felipe, how's it going, buddy? I have a small space, like 2 meters by 3.5 meters. I can send some photos in the Discord. It was an old mini office in the apartment. Yeah, definitely post that on there. I'm going to probably do I really want to do a video that features everybody's workspace. I tried getting some of my Patreon to post some pictures and stuff a few months ago, where I was gonna like share and and make this into like a full-fledged video to get some ideas for everybody and everything. But we just didn't get enough pictures. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do something like that again on my Discord. Make like a section on my server, so that way they can you know feature their stuff on there, and maybe we might do a video for it. Might have some of the Patreon members on here. How about that? That would sound cool. So yeah, Kuros says, here's some photos of my little paint place for the stream. Oh, I like that, dude. That's pretty neat. You guys can't see it, but I can. Ha ha ha. Yeah, he's got a little paint booth there and everything. That's awesome. Well lit, very small area, confined. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can kind of see this. My camera sucks on here, so yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, there's the paint booth. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, man. So yeah, thank you for the pictures. Um, but that's you have to kind of get innovative on that type of stuff. Uh, yeah. The Sarge is in the house. What's up, Sergeant? All right. So yeah, Sarge has got his own YouTube channel. If you guys check out his link or whatever like that, go on to his give the guy some love over there. He's just starting out. Let's see. GC Mini, paint racks and painting solutions. Yeah, they got some really nice stuff. I've seen that too. The only problem is, like I said, if you don't have very much room, a lot of these racks are they're space hogs, man. They take up a lot of space. So like if you have something that's just like where you can pull it out, pop it up there and use it and then put it back pretty quickly. That's what a lot of people are kind of wanting to use. Off topic, but did you see the Daredevil Kingpin piece from Wicked? I am already printing that, dude. I'm way ahead of you, Daryl. I am way ahead of you, my friend, and I'm printing it in quarter scale. Yes. Hold that thought. Be right back. Hold on. Ooh. So yeah, there's Kingpin. That's just the head. Look how big this thing is in quarter scale. And here's Daredevil. That's just the head. They're so well detailed. Unbelievable. They're really, really nice. But I've got Daredevil almost printed. I'm actually printing the base in one piece on the Mega 8K. That it's just a monster. So so yeah, I am definitely printing those. I love Daredevil. I love Kingpin. I cannot wait for the new series to come out. Yeah, I can't wait for it. And John Bernthal's talking about being back as the Punisher. Did you see that bullshit? And I'm sorry my language, but did you see that crap where they kill Punisher off? Oh, Marvel can go to hell for that one. Anyway, Optimus Prime, whatever happened to Optimus Prime, I got about as far as the head. I'm going to have to rethink that one because I tried printing the torso that big and it just ain't happening. So I'm going to probably print that one as a smaller scale. I was trying to print that thing as a third scale, which was going to be like 6 feet tall. Nah, I'm not doing that. Let's see. Frag says we all need a laser engraver to make this stuff. I actually got 2 laser engravers that some people sent me. That's the wonderful thing, but yet a curse at the same time. When you have a YouTube channel that has kind of mediocre success like this one, is you got a lot of people wanting you to review their products and everything. So it takes time to do that sort of thing. But yeah, it's it's fun, but then again, it's like I said, it's time consuming. So kind of sucks sometimes. Glass Joe, currently sitting in my paint booth on top of its lights. I bought a cheap set of photography lights on tripods to give extra light. Yeah, so I think I bought a set off Amazon for like $20, and they're LED. They're, you can change the color of them if you want to. I have used them maybe 2 or 3 times. Audio's cutting in and out again, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're definitely going to. My wife and I are definitely going to do some upgrades this weekend um, for the live stream. I will not do another live stream until I have my shit straight. Let's put it that way. I'll make sure that I have everything fixed up before I do another live stream. I make that commitment to you guys. I don't like to do anything half-assed when it comes to this stuff right here. Fragged. Jughead Gaming 25 asks, hey, do you know how to do cell shading, anime style painting techniques? And if so, could you do a tutorial? Well, as it is, my good fellow, that is one of my next videos. I am currently working on prepping and primering my subjects for that video. And all I can tell you is they're heroes in a half shell. So you heard it first. Arveer says, I did the wicked Megatron and then realized the size, so I put Megatron on a waiting list. Yeah, I got to stop doing these humongous. I probably can't do another Galactus like size again. Well, I say that until they come up with a damn model I just can't refuse. But I got this thing sitting on my table and I have no idea where I'm going to put it. That's the problem with a lot of stuff that I got here. So, yeah. Max is, my wife is listening and I'm sure she's going to read this, but I like how your wife is so supportive. Mine is like, okay, but whatever you make better not suck. Max, oh my God, I'm sure whatever you make, sir, is not sucking. So, yeah. Do I know of any wicked 3D type makers who specialize in spaceships? So I would say I know that what is it? Game Body is doing some. That I think I saw like the Star Destroyer on there that some dude did, and it was like just this big massive scale, and it's all lit up with LEDs and everything. Oh man, it's freaking beautiful. I want to do stuff like that. So yeah, it's crazy. I want to do. I mean, there's so much stuff I want to do. Already told you I'd store your unwanted models at my house. Yeah, sweet too. Sure you will. Oh man. So I've got a lot of I wouldn't say unwanted, but I got a lot of undone models that some of them are not going to get done. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. They're probably just going to sit around and I'm probably going to do like some type of zenithal paint scheme on them and call it a day. I've got so many. I could go for days with it. Yeah, so I see that some Arveer says, yeah, he's got a problem with putting finished pieces. So I will have quite a bit of room to. My wife says, "Come get the backlog, please. You better not touch my crap." Anyway, I'll have a lot more room once I get everything situated in here. I have a vision, I have a plan, and usually once I have a vision and a plan, I'm pretty adamant about making sure to go through with it. So, yeah, yeah. He'll even. I know everything I got in that room, dude. How will I not know that they're gone? Oh my God. I don't think I've got maybe 5 or 6 models in here with me right now that are not completed. In the other room, I probably have about 30. And that's not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating at all. If anything, I'm probably lowballing that number. Oh, so yeah, we're not getting Henry's models. No, I'm going to do these damn things. I promise you guys, you're really It's probably going to be a 2 video uh, tour of the room. There's so much stuff in here, and I can't wait to show you guys. I'm telling you right now, my wife is probably like, I'm so sick of hearing about this friggin' room that she's probably blue in the face of hearing me tired of me talking about it, but I can't wait to show you guys everything. I'm super excited about it. I have shelves upon shelves upon shelves of backlog. You won't miss 2 or 10 of them. No, you're not taking the models. Oh man. Oh geez. All right, going back to what we were talking about before we got totally sidetracked. When we do this every live stream, do we not? We get totally sidetracked and talking about other stuff when we get kind of on a tangent, I guess. 10's a good round number. Yeah, so small spaces are very workable. Hashtag bye bye backlog. My ass. You're not taking my stuff. Anywho, so with small spaces are actually a little bit more manageable because it almost forces you to have to clean up after every model that you do. Because you're probably utilizing other space for other things, whether it's your kids, your pets, especially if you're in your kitchen or something like that, you got to eat and do all that stuff. So, so it kind of makes you clean up, which is not a bad thing. My desk over here is a mess right now, but yeah. Oh, wow. So here's another one from Kuros here. He says a tip is to use one of those cat scratch boxes to be my dry hack. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. So yeah, like a cat scratching box thing. It's got the corrugated cardboard. You can just stick the skewer in there. So that's cool if you don't have any styrofoam. I actually heard some people actually are allergic to styrofoam. Yeah. Man, that's like your wife saying you cannot buy any more fishing tackle. Well, it's a good thing I don't fish much. Losing my unfinished projects is just making me big, make me and big. So you're losing your unfinished projects. It's just make me and bigger. No, I'm not going to be losing my projects. And you just remember, I got the file and I got several printers. I got 15 freaking printers I can print that crap on if they come up missing. But yeah, the wife knows better. She's not going to take my stuff. So, any more suggestions or anything like that on small workspaces? I mean, I think we touched on quite a few things. I mean, there's probably a 5 or 6 dozen more things that we could talk about, but I'm just kind of going off some of the things that I used to do whenever I had like no space at all. I had my little tiny 1-bedroom apartment. Me and my roommate when I was much younger, when I was like in my teens and everything, and moved out of the house. Yeah. My wife says I'm making him bigger and bigger, even with the backlog. Yeah. Well, no, Galactus is not really count. He doesn't really count because I've had him on the books for like a year, and I finally got him finished. I've got some bigger projects I've got to finish up, but yeah. That's a good idea, Frag. In Gundam building, we take a box to one and cut up cardboard to push painted part skewers in to dry. Yeah. So let me ask you guys this, because I have been wanting to do some Gundam pieces. I love Gundam. I love the old Robotech and everything like that. Does anybody know of anyone that makes any Patreons that might make these models, that design them? Because I am not going to the hobby shop and spending $250 on a 1/135th scale Gundam that's like 9 inches tall. That is complete BS. I'll print those things and paint them before I do that. So if anybody knows of any good Patreons, post them in the comments. Hey, it's not a bad idea. You should put up one of these unfinished projects as the prize in a giveaway. So I did a giveaway on TikTok, several months ago, and it took forever for the guy to get back to me. When he got back to me, I sent him had the thing boxed up to send to him. Then he sent me another address, says, no, send it here. And then he contacted me again and says, oh, no, can you send it here? And I just said, screw it. I'm not sending you a damn thing. Chris 3D. Okay, I'll check those out. Sweet tooth. Hey, send me a message with a link if you don't mind in the Discord. Have I tried printables? Yeah, I didn't see anything over there that I liked. There was a couple that I tried to upscale, and when I scaled them up and stuff, everything looked really pixelated. It just didn't look smooth at all, so I didn't want to do those. So I'm actually a patron of Nico Industries, and he's got a couple of cool looking Gundam helmets on there that I want to try and do, and they're in pieces. So I'm actually going to resin print those instead of printing an FDM, because I do not want to try and print those in filament and sand the shit out of those things. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at this Patreon here. Let's see here. STL collectibles. Oh, okay. So he's got some. Well, I think he's got like 2, 3. Okay, here's some. All right. Cool. I'll try this Patreon. I'll look and see what they've got on there. Hello, Rob. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the live stream. STL collectibles. We'll take a look at those too. I'll take a look at those guys once. Yeah, I've seen this thing. It's kind of gaudy, if you ask me. I'm not big into that one there. With the big gigantic wings, it looks like a big buzzard. Okay, cool. So I'll take a look at those. Awesome. Okay. PMG on the yeah, I got that link. I'll take a look at them and see. So my next project, I know you guys are probably going to ask, my next project is Hulk versus Hulkbuster. I'm going to get that one done. I'm going to get my cell shading done. I'm probably going to do cell shading first, because I got a piece that I have to reprint on Hulk versus Hulkbuster that split on me. Believe it or not, it was FDM that split, not the resin. So the base is made out of FDM, and for some goofy reason or another, I guess maybe the integrity of the FDM walls or whatever like that didn't hold up and it split. So I got a reprint piece of there. So that's going to take a little bit of time. I've got some reviews coming up. I've got some products that you guys are probably going to dig. One is this one desktop printer for under $100. It's from G-Tech, and I really like it. It's got really good details, got some nice features for a $100 printer, and that's in the U.S., guys. If you're overseas, and unfortunately this thing is real expensive to ship it. So, man, you guys are sending me all kinds of stuff. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm definitely going to check out Krez 3D. I like some of those models there. But yeah, I really want to do some of this. Now tell me, is it gunplay or gunpla? I hear all kinds of things. Back in the days, we just said Gundam. Everything was Gundam. When it was Robotech, it was still Gundam. So yeah. Is it gunpla, like PLA, or play with a Y? I mean, I know it's spelled GUNPLA, but is it pronounced play, like play with a Y, or play with a pla? Okay. Pla. There we go. So yeah, cell shading. I'm excited about it too. This is kind of like new chartered waters for me, or uncharted territory for me here. I haven't done any cell shading in a long time. I did back when I was, we're talking probably in my early 20s or late teens, early 20s, when I worked as a volunteer for a prop shop. We did some models and stuff and did some cell shading in there, and it was really cool looking. We did them for a stage play, but it looked like it was something out of a comic book. So it's been some years since I did it, but I'm looking forward to toying with it again. I've seen there's a couple of guys over on TikTok that just blow it out of the water. I know who you guys know who I'm talking about. They make a lot of the Dragon Ball Z stuff. But this guy is just real talent, man. There's some good killer painters out there, and he does some really neat stuff. I'm doing a little bit different. I'm not doing any anime yet. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing some reptiles. Let's put it that way. I'll say that. You can kind of put two and two together. But I'm excited about it. Anyway, hopefully I'll have those done in the next week or two, and we'll have the video out pretty soon. But yeah, I appreciate everybody's support, and definitely thank this, you guys for the super thanks earlier and everything. The channel is growing, guys. I greatly appreciate it. We're moving right forward. I was expecting a few more views on Galactus, but that's okay. I mean, I'm super happy with it. I really wanted to do this project, so yeah, I'm excited to do anything else. I will say this, and my wife needs to hold her ears here. So the only thing that I will print that big again is if Wicked does a Sentinel, and I've already told Gabriel that. So if we get a Sentinel, that sumbitch is going to be just as big as Galactus. So, really good builder on YouTube, Studio G. That's them. Yes, that dude is awesome. Those guys make some killer stuff. That's exactly who I was talking about. Thank you, sir. All right. Couldn't imagine printing something that big other than the Iron Man suit. I'll tell you, it was not fun. That was my first experience printing that big in filament. I think the next go around, I might do all resin. The only thing that I was worried about was the weight, because I print in 1.8 millimeter, and I was worried about the weight with the thin walls and just the 5% infill structure on it breaking or splitting or just crumbling or not holding up the weight. So that's why I did it in filament. I'm thinking that I'll definitely do the base in filament if it's a Sentinel, and most of the stuff, probably the legs, I'll do FDM. The rest of it, I'll do resin. Uncle Jesse's Magneto. Did he ever finish that? The last I seen, he did the bottom part, and I haven't seen any of the upper torso of it. Uncle Jesse's probably like me. He's probably got so many projects going on right now that it's kind of hard for him to finish. I'd like to see that Magneto done. I offered to do a tutorial with him, like a painting tutorial with him, like a collaboration, to help paint some stuff like that, because I noticed he doesn't paint very much. But of course, he doesn't respond back to me. He's a big old YouTuber. I'm just a little bitty fish in a big old pond. So you guys message Uncle Jesse over there and tell him that he needs to do a paint collaboration with me, with this guy here. Yeah. See what he says. I don't know. He's a good guy. He's just been super busy. There's some STLs of the Sentinel finding the X-Men. I've seen some of those, but you know how Wicked goes all out with the detail and stuff like that. So it's got to be Wicked or somebody who can just knock it out of the park. I don't want to do anything that's just going to look really, really hokey. Breaker says, or Bracker says he hasn't finished it yet. It's okay. So I didn't think so. I didn't see any. I've seen the last couple of videos that he did. He did the whole thing for the Elgu launch and everything, and I think he's done a recent thing for the Anthem printer, which, in my opinion, from what I've seen, it's garbage. It's like that eMake. So is anybody getting the eMake printer? Not me. I think the thing is trash. That's just me. There's so many red flags coming up on that thing. A guy on Facebook that has a bunch of life-size prints. What is that guy's name? Do tell, we must know. The only one that I'm going to do life size of is if I find a really good Punisher museum pose. And supposedly my guy Alvaro Stuardo was supposed to be doing it, but every time I turn around, he's like posting stuff. He says he's working on Punisher, but every time I see him, he's posting stuff of another something completely different. And the only bad thing about that is I told everybody about how good his Patreon is and stuff, and everybody joins the Patreon, but he hasn't released anything in months. I think the only thing he's released is the Wolverine with the ninjas, which was a couple of months ago, and now he is doing Samus, some Samus bust, and I think he's wanting to get that commissioned out. And then he did some Saitama or whatever. So all the projects that he's been talking about doing, he's not finishing. I think there's a King Thanos that he was doing. There's a Wolverine Venomized. I mean, so yeah. So that I'm out of his Patreon, unfortunately. I love the guy to death, but yeah. So I will be doing that Wolverine, but it's going to be later on down the line once I get some other stuff finished. Greg Mariano. Okay, thank you for the name. I'm going to have to check him out and see what he's got over there. Life-size prints. Are all these life-size here? Frag just sent me something with Storm, Rogue, Wolverine. Oh, it looks like he's doing mannequins. Like putting everything on mannequins here. Is that what he's doing? Because this Colossus is on a mannequin. That doesn't look like it's 3D printed. Yeah, none of this stuff is 3D printed. He's just painting it. Yeah, these are all mannequins. He might be printing some stuff, but yeah, it's all mannequins. No, I want 3D printed stuff, man. Rob says he ordered the Anycubic 12K Mono 5S. Let me know how it is, because my rep from Anycubic, they sent me a printer that doesn't work. It was the Mono 2. I tell you, Anycubic has been a dog to me, man. That M3 Max that I got took like almost a year for it to work right. And I just had a damn failure here. I just put a print on this morning, the other half of the Grimbat base, and it failed. So, I mean, like every other print fails on that machine, and I can't see how it just, I'm not doing it. Hey, trust me, I've contacted Anycubic. I've talked with other people that have had great success with this printer. Mine has just been a lemon. So yeah, but I have reached Anycubic and they don't want to send me the 12K Mono 5S. I'm not sure I'm even going to go out and get it. I've been kind of looking at that Saturn Ultra. That looks like it's a pretty good printer. But I want the Z-axis height on it. So that's what I'm looking for. I don't care about speed. All this crap about speed, about a printer printing fast means nothing to me. What's my thoughts on the Saturn II 8K? It's a good printer. I've seen a lot of people come up with some really cool stuff out of it. I will tell you this. I mean, I don't know how many times I've talked about it, but there's no difference between an 8K, 10K, and 12K. There just isn't. Unless you're looking through a microscope, there's really no difference in quality or anything like that. Pure Poly Forge, I tell you right now, and I'm not just saying this, nothing right now, nothing is beating the GK2 from Uniformation. I'm sorry. It's a mid-size, it's an MSLA printer. It's not that huge of a volume, but dude, let me tell you, I cannot get any bad prints off this thing. I have thrown all kinds of settings at this. It is just, it's awesome. I mean, the caliber of prints that I get on this thing, I've been using this, and I'm going to do a follow-up video on this, but that's how much I like this printer. But I got, I mean, I have not had I've had one failure. I take that back. I've had one failure on it, and that was my fault because a piece of support got stuck up under the ledge, and so it didn't print in the front, but it still printed in the back. But yeah, it's $800, but I'm telling you, for me, there's nothing better. Oh, and their GK2's customer service is top notch. So they have a support group. They have a Facebook group. And anytime that you need any help with them, they're going to be on it. I mean, Mia Hong, I think is her name. She's my direct contact, and she's very active in that Facebook group. So if there's ever any issue, she's got texts that will actually text you or message you or whatever like that to help you with any problems. So yeah, they're the best, I mean, out there right now, in my opinion. And the only bad thing is they're a relatively small company, but they've got a huge backlog right now because they've been selling some printers, my friend. Reggie says he just backed out of the Athena 3D. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I get it. It's a nice concept that you can upgrade the printer, but at some point the technology is going to wear out. I mean, it's going to go, I mean, because technology changes every 90 days, 6 months or whatever, depending on what you're looking at or what you're using. I get it. It's a nice gesture to be able to upgrade to a certain extent. Then after that, you're going to be needing to get something else. But I think Uncle Jesse had some issues with it. I've seen a couple of other people to get the printer and said it was just complete garbage. So I'm just going by what I've seen. I have not used it yet. I don't plan on using it. But again, if you want to spend your money on something like that, and I think it's like $900 and something, if I'm not mistaken. So get your Uniformation GK2. A good build size. Yeah, so the GK2 has a really good build size. This is equivalent to like the Saturn. So yeah. Yeah, let's see. I missed a good bit of the stream. I was helping my friend close a chicken coop. That's all right, Huey. You can rewatch it, man. Appreciate you being here, bud. So yeah, I think the E-Make, I think out of the gate, they just really did not know how to do a Kickstarter program. Athena people seem like they have their act together with that. I just think they have an inferior product. Time will tell. Maybe the couple of beta units they get out to these people are probably not it's all cracked up to be. I saw like they have like a sensor unit that clips onto the vat. What kind of crap is that? I mean, why not make it, why not put it into the system or whatever like that? So, I mean, it's yeah, I mean, that's a part that's really going to fail, especially just pop off of there. So, how's the Mega 8K treating me? Dude, that thing is awesome. I'll have the review up for it relatively soon. I'm still doing some printing off of it. My only complaint about it is it's slow. It's a big printer. It's the biggest one I think on the market right now, aside from the E-Make, which is going to be garbage. I think it's the biggest one out there right now, but I think that it's great, man. Like I said, I'm printing this whole Daredevil base. It's quarter scale and it's one piece. And so far it's doing it. It's doing the job. Let's see here. So Glenn, I'm just going to call you Glenn, dude. I don't know if it's Glenn C or Glenn Chi or whatever. Some people say DLP technology is the future and it lasts a lot longer than the standard. Do I have any experience with the Elegoo Mars 4 DLP? No, I do not. I will tell you that the only issue that I have with DLP technology is most of it is owned by Texas Instruments, and they're going to put the noose on some people, very tight reins in using this technology unless they jack the price up and get a hell of a kickback off of it. That's the only fear that I have with it. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm looking into. I used to be in the tech a while back and everything, but yeah, Just Glenn. Okay. But yeah, I think that they're going to stranglehold the market on that. Biggest is the Pia Poly Phenom XXL. What's the volume on that thing? The build volume on it? I've seen pictures of it, but I haven't seen anything on like any reviews or anything. That thing's got to be like $3,000 or $4,000. I think what is the Mega AK like $2,000, $2,500? Of course, Frozen sent me that one to do a review on it. They had a part on it that was messed up that they had to resend. So yeah, it was messed up from shipping, not from the printer itself. 500 by 350 by 350. It's $15K. Well, damn, no wonder I haven't seen it. Probably nobody can afford the thing. Oh my God. Yeah, they're getting crazy with those prices. Let's see. Yeah, 15,000 shipped. Where's that one that I saw that I'm trying to find the Facebook group. This printer is like the size of like 2 refrigerators put together. I can't remember what group it was in, but this printer was on here, and the guy was like trying to like sell it like it was just the best thing ever. And like he's doing all kinds of write-ups on it. I wish I could find it here on my phone. But anyway, to make a long story short, I asked him, hey, well, how much is this printer or whatever? $350,000. I mean, because people got that kind of money laying around. I get it if you're an industrial company or whatever like that, but I thought that a lot of those companies rent those, like have contracts where they rent them rather than just outright buy them. But anyway, I'll look at it later. But yeah, that's just too much. Even $5,000 for one, man. That's a lot of money for a printer just to get that build volume. I mean, you can cut it up in Mesh Mixer or Luban and just, yeah, you can just cut it up and print for like a fraction of the cost and glue that crap together. That's my opinion. So, want to buy an Elegoo Jupiter? What about it? Do you recommend it? I've heard a lot of people like it. There's quite a few people on my Patreon that on my Discord that use it, and they say it's good. I mean, like everything. I mean, you can have your good days and your bad days with it, but overall, I've seen a lot of people really like it. I would get one, but I don't need another large format printer. I've got like 5, and I just don't. I've got 5 really large format printers, and I don't need another one. But I do have 2 Photon Mono X's that I was going to order screens for, and I may just replace those with the printers because they're getting so cheap now. I remember when the Photon Mono X, well, Anycubic sent them to me, but I remember when they were like $500 at one point. Now you can get one for like $250, $300. Cool. All right, guys. So we've been on here for about an hour and a half, and it's coming up on time to close out for the evening, I think. Does anybody have any more questions or anything they'd like to discuss before we wrap this live stream up? I hope everything that we talked about helps some of you out in some way, shape, or form. If you have a tight workspace, or if you have a big workspace, hopefully some of those you can use in the future or whatever like that. So I will go ahead while you guys are ramping up your questions. If you have not checked out my latest video, go out and check out the Galactus video. I did this thing, and it's mostly an FDM. A little bit of resin. It's 4 feet 4 inches tall. It's a huge statue. Go over there and give it some love. Also, I do have a Patreon. You can get into it for $2. And what that does is everything that I get from my Patreon goes back into the channel. I'm actually commissioning someone now to do a Ghost Rider model for the Patreon members. That is if you're in the $10 tier. But you can get on my Discord. We could talk things about printing and painting. We have a lot of help. If you're getting into 3D printing and painting, you need help. It's a good area to ask questions, share your work, and talk to some of the guys over there, which a lot of my guys are on the live stream here. So, so yeah, so definitely checked out that Patreon over there. But we do all kinds of stuff over there. We actually have a voice channel where if you need any help directly, doesn't matter what tier you're in, send me a message and I can jump on there and we can go and kind of troubleshoot everything live video. So absolutely. What's up, Raging Mondo? Where you been, man? Let me see. What about the giveaway? Your wife said she was getting rid of your backlog. Negative, sir. So yeah. So yeah, go check out the channel. If you haven't subscribed, go over there and subscribe to the channel. Give us some likes. I mean, any type of interaction with the channel helps me out tremendously, helps get us out into the algorithm world. I still don't know how that works, but puts us in front of other people for our community and everything like that to get bigger and better, and allows me to be able to put out more videos. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, you can comment in any one of the videos, like something you may want to see, like if it's a tutorial or something like that. Let me know. If I get enough interest in it, I'll definitely make a video of it. James, you inspire me to get back work on my Galactus. Should have had it posted on the Facebook page soon. Not as big as yours, only 18 inches tall. That's awesome, man. Yeah, 37 watching and 7 likes. Yeah, so give us a like for the live stream, guys. I know a lot of people watch the live stream later because they can't get off work or if they got something else going on. Unfortunately, this is about the only time that I can actually do a live stream is on Thursday nights around 7 o'clock because I work throughout the week. I have some wonky hours. I even work on Saturdays, and I got to have time to make you guys some videos. So absolutely. But yeah, definitely go over, just smash the like button on every single freaking video out there that you can. Like I said, we're just passing what, 15,000. So we are at 15,560 subscribers. And I appreciate every daggum one of you guys. I really do. But we want more. We want more. My goal is to get to 25 by the end of the year, and I think we can do it. I haven't posted anything in a month because Galactus here. I just wanted to get him done. So now that we got everything done on Galactus, we can start posting more content here. And yes, rest in peace to Mr. John Romita Sr., tremendous artist, one of the godfathers of comic books in general and illustration. The guy was a complete genius. He was way ahead of his time back in the day. Yeah, rest in peace, sir. So yeah. So absolutely, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching my videos. You guys really, I wish I could reach through here and shake every one of your hands. I appreciate the support. Again, love doing what I do. So quick question. Do you know of anyone who has done the Watchmen movie figs? I do not. I thought I saw that 3D Berserk, which is Wicked, I thought they did 1 or 2 of them. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody part of that Patreon. Yeah, I'm not big into the whole Watchmen movie thing. I watched it a couple of times. I just couldn't get into it. But yeah, I think check with 3D Berserk. I think they've done 1 or 2 of them, and I think they've got a couple more. Yeah. All right, Reggie, I appreciate it, my friend. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap this up here. Again, appreciate all of the effort, all the time from you guys watching the videos. Get out there and go watch more videos. Yeah, definitely give us a few likes and everything. The more you can, the better off the channel will be. We can get in front of more people, create more stuff and everything. And do not forget, stay safe out there. Get out, create something, print, prep, paint, repeat. And as always, guys, until the next live stream or until the next video, peace and love. I'm out. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.